Welcome to the Metal Prognosis. My name is Lee, and on today's video, we have a new toy to play with. This just came in the mail today. Another Harley Benton product, but this time, very well packed, is, see if I can get it out, the FX unit, which is called the DNAfx GiT Pro, G-I-T Pro. So we're going to do a couple of videos on this, but for the first one, just this one, we're going to have a quick just tour of it, turn it on for the first time, let's see how the interface works, let's see what presets they've got and see how it sounds, and then later on videos we'll add our third-party IRs and see how far we can take it and mix it with other stuff. But for now, let's just turn it on, see how it is, and just look at the basics. Now I've got everything plugged in, let's turn it on and see what happens. So one thing I just realized is, because I haven't plugged in the computer yet, there might be some updates that it might need, but we're stuck with the stock for now. We've got bass to start off with, which is designed for bass. So, B, C, D, cool. Alright, so I could just go through all the presets, but we're kind of stumbling through it because it's really easy just to flick through, yep, the Wheel of Fortune. Should have done one more strum then, but I didn't. So yeah, look, there are a couple of cool ones here. But if we're going to do a tour of it, let's quickly do a patch and see what we can come up with super quickly. So let's go back to, we don't need this one for bass. So let's see if we can navigate our way through it and figure it out. They don't do anything. All right, there's a button there, that's cool. All right, so the button activates edit mode. That's for a comp, that's for the wah pedal, this little one here. Clean boost. Well, if we're going to do a clean boost, let's do a clean boost properly. So yeah, no gain. Let's add a little bit more treb and mids. Go across, volume, crank it. It could get a bit hissy, but we'll deal with that when we get to it. Amp, so here's a big one. We've got 58 different amps to choose from. All right, so there is a heap here. I do like how they change the names just enough, but you pretty much know what they're talking about. It's 5150. Freeman, being Freeman. Let's just try this one to see if we can clean it up a bit. Roll back a bit on the bass, mids, doesn't really matter. Not sure about all this yet. Get a bit more volume though. See what cabs, this is a big one. So 13, I was going to roll back to see how many there is. 60, all right, so cool. So these are for our third-party IRs. We can chuck. Oh, wow, you could put a heap of IRs in here. So there's 31 to choose from. And a hell of a lot more you can put in yourself. All right. Alright, so this is the only really way to do it, is to go through and let's just choose this one, try to clean it up a bit. Because I don't want to get analysis paralysis. I just want to give a quick tour and see for myself what's involved in it as well. But yeah, don't want to get too caught up in it all. So. Let's see if we can clean this up a bit. So, effects loop, we don't want any of that. Noise gate. Oh, go back to noise gate. On. That's very handy. Maybe a little bit too much level coming through, a little bit too much bottom end. So let's chuck, whoops, stop doing that, an EQ through there. Reverb, we don't really need the reverb on. Turn that off. Okay, so reverb's the last one. Totally starting that riff again. That was woeful. Better, but not the best. As in my riffing, not the tone. So not too bad. So what else we got? Delay, mod. Oh yeah, so I've got, what mods we got there? Chorus, phaser, tremolo, detune, that's pretty cool. Mono, pitch. Oh, we could have lots of fun with this, which we absolutely are going to. So this is going to be lots of fun. But for now, let's just go back to the amp. See if we can get a bit of round it off a little bit. Let's see a bit more mids, a little bit more trebs. only thing to think about is how the gain reacts to this. Yeah, I think I prefer it's a little bit pulled back. So I'm going to leave it there in regards to editing, but let's see about storing it. So if I store it there, I'll figure that part out and how to name it. I'll quickly kind of switch stuff around a little bit. Rename this. We'll do a quick jam, so doubling up on the guitars, adding some bass and drums, and just see how it all sounds. And then I'll have a quick chat about it on the other side. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the jam, and we'll have a chat about it very soon. Time for some final thoughts on the DNAfx by Harley Benton, which is a very cool unit. So let's talk about pretty much what we went through. So turning it on for the first time and running through it. The interface that it has here was very user-friendly. I like the colour. I like how it's all divided up nicely. It took me a little bit to get used to how these work and how they react, but as you saw, it wasn't too long. Very straightforward. I like the chain, how they had it all set up for you. I don't know if you can move any of those to alter them, because that would be very cool if you could. Don't know if it's like some of the other effects units I had on this channel where I couldn't figure out how to change it within the unit, but as soon as we brought it up on the computer, it was pretty easy to navigate and to do. So yeah, we're gonna have to investigate a little bit more into that, see how that works. Plenty of different amps to choose from. I can't remember the exact number off the top of my head. I think it was 38 or something. So a very, very large amount. The amps weren't too bad. The distortion sound we got out of it wasn't too bad at all. I should have tried it without the boost to give it kind of A-B, but hindsight's a wonderful thing. But with what we got sounded pretty good. The amount of cabs that you get just straight off the bat is respectable. It's not too bad at all. But as we all know with these things, where you can really make them shine is adding your own IR, third-party IRs to it. And that's exactly what we'll be doing in the next video. So I've got Nick Leonard's IR pack version 2 that he just brought out. That would be cool to put into this, see how it works. Kristen Cole's one I've got an SMG one, custom coffee audio one, the Roman IR pack. So that would be cool to see if we can make this gen and put some low tuning guitars to it to see how it really grinds. That would be, yeah, super keen to see if we can handle that. So overall, yeah, just pretty simple and straightforward, which is really cool. And next time I'll definitely try some of the flanger and delays and that to see how easy they are to put together and what options we have. The noise gate, we'll mention that as a highlighted thing, worked an absolute charm. We didn't even need to change any of the settings, just engaging it straight off the bat. Their, I don't know, default settings for that little patch absolutely worked a charm. When it came to editing for the actual song, I didn't need to worry about any of before I started playing and afterwards. It was that tight and clean. So yeah, definitely a big heads up for that. Another couple of things I just want to quickly touch base on before I move on. The back of it, there are so many options here with the XLR outs left and right for stereo if you're into that. Same as the 1/4 inch, which is really cool if you're recording with something like chorus or flanger, or if you want your delay to bounce or echo a bit from speaker to speaker. We've got those options to do it straight off this unit, which is really cool. Same as the send, the returns are in stereo, which is really cool. Another pedal out if you wanted to get another pedal for whatever reason, if you want one for a wah, one for a volume, or you just prefer your one over this one. I really like the amount of different options it has for an amp control. I don't know if that's amp control as in this controls the amp, or the amp control like channel changes this. I'm not sure. I've never used it that way, but it's got the option there. So it's always good to have options. But the USB, which is the main one, because as we saw, they've left a bucket load of empty slots for your own personal third-party IRs. So they're definitely on board enough to know that if we really want to make this shine, it is third-party IRs. So there it is. There is a quick run through of the Harley Benton's DNAfx. Another thing I will say, I always do this just when I'm about to say goodbye. I really like, I didn't really know how to flip through the different banks with this properly while I was just having it on my little desk there. It was really easy to navigate through there easy, so not the end of the world. But for live, for my band Shadows at Bay, the most I've ever needed is 4 patches. A clean, a distortion, a phaser or a flange, and a delay for a lead patch. So I really like because the majority of units that are coming out lately have only been 3. The fact they've got a 4th one here doesn't seem like much, but for someone like myself with what's needed in the band, that is a huge plus for me. In saying that, for the next band rehearsal, I'm probably going to try out this one to see how it goes and see how it flows, and to put this in the in-ears to really hear it in the most, under the magnifying glass the most, I think is the best way to describe it. Because none of the band members can hide when this is going directly into our desk and then into our in-ears. So, I'll try my goodbyes again. The Harley Benton DNAfx unit. It's pretty darn cool. So, definitely keen for your thoughts on what you thought about this. This little demo I ran through. I know I did rush through a lot of things. I didn't really delve in. I just wanted to give you a quick overall view. Not really overall, but just a quick little taste of it. But we will be delving in later in another video with it all. So thank you very much for joining me in this video, and I thoroughly look forward to chatting with you next time. And until next time, please, stay safe. And as a little extra bonus, I bought this from Tolman, and they did pretty well with their shipping. They're always super quick with their shipping. But they also put in a little comic strip, which, yeah, I think is really, really cool. It's just it's a novelty, but it's a nice little touch anyway, opening up and getting that. It definitely made me smile when I saw it. So, yeah, just a little bit of a shout out for that.